trying to get me. Tell me now, I want you to be clear. Tell me now, I need you to be clear. I will wait for you, for you. I will wait for you. I will wait for you. Yeah, baby.
And I will decide if it's gonna be in it. Okay. I'm Kai.
I'm Tiffany.
And today we are going to be doing a Q&A for me. And tomorrow we'll be doing a Q&A for her. So we're going to get this started.
You don't know this person. I'm gonna go turn that off. Jesus! Okay. Alright. Mr. Somebody, can we have a wrestling match?
So out of any question that you could possibly ask me, you ask me the dumbest one. No comments.
Alright. Alex asked, I think you should share your testimony on YouTube.
My testimony. Wow, this is a really deep one. And I don't know if I'm going to put this in here because it's very long. But basically, if you don't know what a testimony is, it's how you ended up finding God. So I'm going to tell the story of how I found God.
Wait, I don't even know this story.
Okay. I was pretty much walking in the depths of hell. Every single person I met was a narcissist or they were manipulating me, and it was just bad person after bad person. I was living at my grandma's house, and she passed a couple years prior to that. My aunt owned the house. The house was then in her name, and she needed to make payments, but she didn't have the money to. So I moved in to be able to pay rent. But she was treating me as if I was a child. She was turning the internet off. She would threaten me. She would put a block on the internet, but I paid the internet. And I was so grown. I was, at that time, I think I was 26, 27 years old, trying to be treated like a 13-year-old child. I just wasn't digging it, so I had to move out. I had a friend who said that her friend needed a roommate. I didn't know her, but I was just like, you know what, whatever. It is what it is. It's temporary. It's for a small amount of time. I moved in, I met her. She was pretty cool. I can't lie. Like, she was cool, but she wasn't like a person that I would be friends with. So, she had a kid. She was about 7, 8 years old. She would always have guys over. Like different guys all the time. And she would
go, her kid?
Yeah. And she would always go partying. And when I mean partying, I mean like to raves and doing like all of that, like crazy things. But it was like every single weekend. Like every weekend. And I was like,
not even her baby daddy had the kid?
I thought it was like kind of crazy. But there was issues already when I moved in because I would go grocery shopping, and you know me and my groceries. If I buy something for myself and everybody else is eating it and you didn't even leave me anything, that's kind of crazy. Like, go to the store and buy your own things for your own kid and her friends. Like, no offense. So I guess she was short on money, so she invited somebody else to come live with us, and it was a dude, right? Mm-hmm. He was pretty cool. Didn't really see anything wrong with him, whatever. And she goes out on a trip, and he's leaving, and he was like, "Hey, yo, I seen this on the door," and I was like, "What is it?" They were about to turn off our electricity and our water, and I was like, "That's so weird because I pay her every single month." And so he called and he was just like, "Hey, like, I'm confused. Like, why is this getting turned off?" And they're like, "Oh, they haven't made a payment in like 6 months." And I was like,
so that bitch was like pretty much robbing you.
She was literally pocketing all of the money, okay? And we ended up finding this out, and, you know, we confronted her with it, and, you know, she was just like, "Oh, no, it must be a mistake, da, da, da." And I was just like, okay, sure, whatever. Well, I guess she had it out for me after that. And me, I'm 5 foot. At the time, I was like 120 pounds. It was just this little itty bitty thing. So,
but when she means skinny, I mean skinny. Like,
I was small. Okay, I was going through a lot at the time, and I carried, right. I'm like, you know, and I had it with me all the time. So this was during COVID, by the way, too. So nothing was open. You know, you couldn't really go to the courthouse. None of that. Well, she filed online for a restraining order, okay? And I didn't even know this. At this time, I was at my mother's house sitting for her as my mom went out on a trip. Okay. And then I get a call from the male roommate, and he was like, yo, like she pulled out a restraining order on you. And I was like, huh? Like a restraining order? Like I didn't do anything. But anyways, she already pulled it out. It didn't matter. The cops called me. They're like, hey, you need to come to the house. You're being served. And I was like, okay. So I go to the house, and all I'm worried about is my cats. The only thing that I am worried about. I don't care about anything else in the house. They're like, you have to come now. You have to pick up your cats, and you need to go. And I was like, okay. So I packed what I could, and then I had to call the cops back to make an appointment to pick up the rest of my stuff. So I made an appointment to pick up my stuff, and I had to be out. Well, I had 3 days to do all of this and find a place to live, okay? Well, the other roommate didn't want to live there because she did this to me. Like, why wouldn't she do that to him? And plus, she took his money too and didn't pay any of the bills. So he was, he was worried that was going to happen to him. So he was like, oh, how about like we get a place together, whatever. And I was just like, okay, like, what's the worst that can happen? Come to find out, this man ends up being in love with me, right? He was in love with me. He wanted a relationship with me, and I was just not interested in any of that. So I moved in with him, and he's like trying to make advances, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want this, right? Then he starts to threaten me. Oh, if you don't do this, you're going to get out. And I was like, there's no way I'm in another situation like this. Like, that's a back-to-back situation. Back to back to back. 3 times over, right? And I was like, I was so depressed and so sad. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on or what I'm doing wrong, or like why I'm finding all these people, why I'm allowing these people to do this to me. So one day I was literally just sitting there. I was like, I have to go to church. Literally, I have to go to church. And I started going to church. And I remember I walked into church and I sat down and I was listening to the pastor, and he was just like, praise the Lord, all this and that. And I hear everybody in the crowd like, yes, praise the Lord. He's one. All this stuff. And I was like, wow, all these people are NPCs. Like, there's no way that these people feel this way, right? It didn't click in my head. I just couldn't imagine. Like, what are you praising? You can't even feel him. You can't see him. Like, what are you doing? But I kept showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up. Every Sunday, no matter what. I just kept showing up. Told my sister I was going to church, and then she started going to church, which is great. But at the time, it just didn't click for me, right? I was just going just to go. Until one day it started to click. I kept going to church, it clicked, I started crying. I felt like he was talking to me every single time. Even from the beginning, I felt like he was talking to me, but it was just like, I was in so much denial. I just wasn't ready to accept. I was going to church for about a year, and then I moved back out here to Florida. And my sister was like, oh, I found a really good church. Go to church. And we go to church, and we just keep going to church. And one day we were at service, and they were talking about baptisms. And I was like, something within me was like, I want to get baptized. Like, this is my time. And so that's what happened. I got baptized. And I've been through hell and back. And for the longest time, I can remember that I would always blame God for all of the things that I went through. Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, I hate you, all of these things. Because I've just been through so much, and I just couldn't comprehend why he would put me through these things. But I ended up figuring out that obviously the reason why I went through those is because he's trying to teach me a lesson. And when you don't learn a lesson, it gets harder and harder each time until you are able to learn the lesson. But also without God, I would have never been able to get out of those really scary situations, because he's the one who put it in my head to be like, you need to leave, you need to go, you need to go do this. Those thoughts did not just come out of nowhere. So he sent many people to help me, including my father. My father seen me in Miami. I was on drugs, like so bad. And before he left, he looked at me. He brought her too. She was young. And before he left, he like pulls me aside, and he was just like, when you're ready, let me know. Mind you, my dad, he's a good guy now, but in the past, he wasn't to me. So to have somebody, and the only one to reach out to me, I know it was from God. God wanted him to help me and pull me out of the depths of hell as well. This is prior to church. So, yeah, that was a lot.
That's funny. I didn't know Dad actually asked you that, because, what's funny is there was like one time, like it was like back to back, I was crying. You know how we had that conversation how like at the end of the month we always just like break down and cry? There was that one time Dad was like just sitting and crying. He's like, if you ever do drugs or anything, just let me know. Just let me know so you're okay. I'm like, I'm not doing any drugs. Yeah. Okay.
he's so caring, and he just shows it in a different kind of way. Because he's not like lovey-dovey, right? But he will, when he can see it within you that you need help and that you know, like he'll just say, like, you know, if you let me know, you know, something, just let me know. Like, I'm here, just let me know. You know what I mean? Like, when I fell completely down, he twice, mind you, 3 times actually, he was the only one there to pick me up. The only one. Love my mother. I'm not putting her down for, you know, my mom did the best that she could. She's a better woman now. But he was the only one to like put his hand out and be like, I got you. Like, I'm here for you. You know, so and 2 times I took advantage of it, but I eventually stopped taking advantage of the help. And I'm just glad he was still there, you know.
Dad's dad. Dad is a dad. All right. You ready for the next question?
Yep.
Are you single?
I am single.
Real single. What is your favorite Christmas artist? Album.
Christmas, or does it say Christian?
Oh, my bad, Christian.
I
Same
think
thing,
we
man.
both we really like Brandon Lake.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we really want to go to a Brandon Lake concert. I think it would be a lot of fun. Just a gospel concert in general, just to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people who love and praise God.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that would just be, oh my God. Like, you could already feel like God talking to you in church now. Imagine that at a concert. Oh,
Through gospel, amazing.
all right. Got any new games you've been into?
I actually haven't played a lot of games lately. I think the last game I played was Dress to Impress on Roblox, so I kind of binged that for a while with my friends.
Right. Where's the OF at?
I no longer do that kind of stuff, so that is put behind me. Like I said, I found God, so
How's person inside you? That
how is the person
no,
inside
it
you?
says how's person inside you.
How's the person inside me? I'm doing great. I can't lie. I'm super good. I think we all have times when we're feeling just a little bit lost, and we don't know what's next. I think it's just mainly the unknown and the control freak inside of me wanting to know what's next. But I'm doing really good. I'm doing great. So
All right. What is the most life-changing thing that has happened to you since you started worshiping God?
Oh, that's kind of hard. What are the most? I mean, I guess I would just say getting baptized and completely getting myself over to God. I mean, that's pretty life changing, you know. And I was, quote unquote, worshiping or giving myself to, and I say quote unquote because I wasn't fully giving myself, but when I started going to church and actually like listening to what they were saying, I got baptized. So I think that's a huge step to be an adult and to decide to love and follow God. So.
Sorry, I was just reading some of these questions. They're not even questions. You want to see what they are? They said, "Hello, mommy. Get back to OF. Words can't express how much I miss you. Would love to shoot some content with you if you're still doing it. Go out with me." And I'm talking all caps. "You gotta come to New Orleans. Put some number in there. This is my iPhone, babe. Are you single? I'm trying to, okay. Are you single? I'm trying to be your boyfriend and husband and your next year bae." And let me tell you, he is not that good looking. Where are you from?
Arizona, born and raised.
Shower in the morning or night?
Both.
Oh, yeah.
I need a shower in the morning to wake up, but also we go to the gym in the morning. So, you gotta wash the gym off. And then at night, you need to wash the day off. So, both. Make sure you guys are showering twice a day. It's kind of gross.
Like, not even questioning then. Yes, Kai!
Period.
Lovely, you're perfect ass.
Okay.
DM. Okay, what surgeries have you gotten done? You look different.
Okay. I love this question. So, I have gotten nothing. I look different because there was a time in my life where I was not anorexic, but I looked anorexic. So I've got no surgeries. I gained weight in one area, as you guys know. So the time it gets bigger, it gets smaller. I get bigger, I get smaller. It's kind of a natural thing, and I'm sure everybody out there has the same issues. You just get your fat in a different area. I was blessed to get it in a certain area, so yeah.
Okay. Will you marry me?
No.
Okay. What do you miss most about OF?
Nothing.
Okay. What's the best piece of advice you've ever given?
Ooh, the best piece of advice that I had.
And if y'all know, she gives good advice. If y'all listen to her lives with me.
I think I have a lot of it. I give a lot of good advice. But I think the main advice is to love yourself and find yourself and do everything you need for yourself. Because if you provide everything for yourself, when you meet the right person, you know what the standard is that you need and that you want because you already provided for yourself. Love God, have a relationship with God, and yeah, just work on yourself and work on the things that you want in life because I promise you, love will find you when the time is right, when God thinks you are ready.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book? The Bible.
Alright, okay, the pandemic is officially over. Obviously, we have no more or whatever. What is one place in the world you would love to visit?
There's 3 places we would love to visit. We want to go to Bora Bora, Thailand, and Japan. Obviously, there's more places that we do want to go, but for 2025, that is our bucket list for travel.
What is the strangest thing you have eaten?
Strangest things I've eaten: frog legs.
Ew.
Didn't like it. It was slimy. It was gross. I spit it out.
That's what's your spirit animal and why?
Elephant, because they're emotional. They feel all emotions, and if you know me, I'm pretty emotional.
All right. What's one talent you have that no one knows about?
I wouldn't say nobody knows about, but like I sing, so
I don't really think any of your fans know that you sing really until you sing.
yeah. Sometimes it's when I sing on live.
Name one song you think no one takes seriously enough. That's a stupid question. All right.
No, I mean that's in a sense right because like gratitude.
Oh yeah.
All my words fall short. I think a lot of people, they don't even listen to gospel music or even believe in God. So I think people should probably take that song a little bit serious. Be grateful, you know.
What's your favorite memory?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know. Me and my sister have a lot of memories. We do a lot of fun things. I can't really like be like, oh, this is my favorite memory because I've done so much in my life. Like I am only 29 years old, but I have lived life. So there's no specific one.
What's your favorite snack on the road trip?
Favorite snack on a road trip? I would say hot Funyuns, I guess.
Those are good.
I know.
All right. Share your wallpaper.
Um,
I don't know. She has 2 phones.
there's this one. It's Philippians 4:6. Worry about nothing, pray about everything. And this one says God first. So kind of the same things.
If you were to have, like, say God...
Was that all of these?
Yeah.
All the questions? Okay.
Yeah. Say God is, like, coming down right now, and he just sets a whole dinner table in front of you. What are you eating first?
What am I eating first?
Yeah, what are you eating with God?
I don't know. What am I eating with him?
Yeah.
Probably smoked turkey.
Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Extrovert.
I'm both, right? Because it depends on the scenario. Because I have a social meter, so if my social meter is done, then I'm an introvert. But I can talk to anybody easily. So
That's a good question. As a child, what did you want to be when you grow up?
as a child, I wanted to be in the military, and then I was in the military. So
And then after now, being grown up, what do you wish you were doing right now besides social media?
There's 2 things I want to do. So I want to continue what I was doing in the military, which was a petroleum engineer. And then I would love to start a nonprofit for abused women, whether it's sex trafficking or in an abusive relationship, just women who have no type of support system and need to learn everyday things, basically. So.
What is the hardest part about working from home?
I would probably have to say always being home. It kind of sucks to constantly always be in the house. And then when you're in your house, right, that's like I don't know, that's your safe spot, your comfort spot. So just also finding motivation to do the things that we need to do.
Right. When you die, what do you want to be remembered for?
Wow, that's I want to be remembered for helping people. That would be great.
You want to be buried or cremated? Right. Cremated is when you get like burned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I never thought about that. I guess it kind of depends because if mom wants to be buried, then I want to be married.
Nobody wants to be buried. They all want to be cremated.
Oh, well then I guess cremated, yeah. Because if my parents wanted to be buried, then I want to be buried with them. You know, like next to them. So.
Yeah. What's the top of your bucket list?
For 2025?
Yeah.
I think the top thing would probably be starting school.
What is the kindest thing that you have done for a stranger?
I feel like it takes away the kindness when you talk about it, but back where we used to live with our dad up in Wikiwachi, there's always homeless people at that gas station on the corner. And some guy asked me for $1. I was like, well, I won't give you $1, but like I can take you inside and you can get whatever you want. And he goes inside and he grabs a coffee. The coffee's like 50 cents. I was like, that's all you want? He's like, oh, I want to be nice. I was like, no, like get what you want. Like realistically in the gas station, like what are you max gonna spend? Like you'll never get $200 unless you're buying gas, right? And then he grabs a donut and I was like, are you sure that's all you want? And then he grabs like a couple more things, but he doesn't really grab anything. And I was just like, well, you have to like remember about the next days. Like what if you eat all of this right now and you're hungry tonight? Or what about tomorrow? Or what about the next day? Like I know it's not food, but it's something to snack on when you are hungry or when you don't have that fortunate of a day for somebody to come and help you. So I think that's probably the kindest thing I've done for a stranger.
Now, what is the kindest thing a stranger's done for you?
Nothing. Nothing. There's not a lot of kind people in this world,
Mm-hmm.
so I haven't really met too many kind people, but I definitely like to be kind to others because one day I'm gonna need that kindness from somebody else. So.
What do you wish like you get complimented on more? What do you want more compliments of?
I don't want more compliments. I don't know. I don't really.
Compliments are over they're over too much. Right?
Compliments are pretty much something that people get from your outside beauty and not so much on your inner beauty and what you can bring to this world. So I don't know. That one's kind of hard. Like I don't want more compliments.
What are the best qualities you think you inherit from your parents?
Oh, well, my parents are very hard workers, so I would say my work ethic. Yeah.
What is the greatest challenge you have faced in the last month?
In the last month?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's say the last year.
I like the last one. We can do the last month. The last month
is crazy.
I wouldn't say it's like
Wow.
too crazy, but there were specific people who did come into my life who definitely taught me some lessons for the greater and the worse. I learned some things about myself, but I also learned what I'm not willing to deal with at all in a person. So one thing is don't ever talk about my mama. Yeah.
That's for sure. What has been the highlight of the past year?
Highlight. I think the highlight of the past year is probably watch my sister grow. We moved out and just, do you remember being 18 and confused and not knowing what to do in life? Well, she's handling it pretty well. She's a go-getter, like trying to get jobs, trying to do whatever she possibly can in order to better her future.
And I got a job today!
She got a job today, so just watching her grow, it's pretty great.
All right, what person has made the biggest impact on you or on your life?
What person?
Yeah. Can't say mom or dad.
Oh.
Out of like a whole years of living.
God. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts.
No.
That was all the questions that I could think of. Let me think if I could think of any questions in my head. What is your favorite thing about me?
And cut. No, the camera's actually dying.
Y'all people suck at asking questions.
Yeah, they're just a little horny.
Oh, I do have a question. If you wish to be born with a small butt, would you want it? Or do you like your big butt?
I think it's too big right now, but
You like
I like the way that got me. Okay, guys, well, that is it for today. These are the questions. I put it on my Instagram, and these are the questions that were asked. Don't ask why. People are not very creative, but maybe we'll do another one soon, and maybe we can ask better questions. Anyways, I'm Kai.
I'm Tiffany.
And we will see you guys later. Bye.